That's it, go.
Hello and welcome everybody. Appreciate you showing up here to eSpeed RCNG eSpeed Racing League for tonight's broadcast of round 2 of the eSpeed Stock Car Series. We
First
are
question for
back.
pit road entry.
Hold
If you
on
have
one
to be in the
second.
green, or keep us under caution as well. Are we using turn 3 or are we pitting off 4? 10-4, just wanted to make sure. Thanks.
Okay, sorry about that. A little admin work right off the bat. I had to talk about that. So, yeah, tonight's race, round 2 of the eSpeed Stock Car Series. Last week we were at Daytona to kick off the new season in exciting fashion. Now we are moving on to Nashville Superspeedway, the 1.33 mile tri-oval in Nashville, Tennessee. Resurrected track. This speedway lay dormant for quite a while. It's an oddball on the old NASCAR schedule. A little smaller than your usual cookie cutter tri-ovals, as well as being concrete. Makes for interesting racing. Got to point to the top of the leaderboard right now, and that is one-time champion Chris Carroll, last week's race winner. Currently the fastest on the speed charts here in practice here tonight. We'll take a look at the results from last week. Chris Carroll was the winner of that race at Daytona, the Stock Car Series, race 1. Race 1, as it says there. Chris Carroll took the win, shocking everybody. Kind of got a little wrecky there towards the end. Coming to the line, he beats Brian Traeger by 0.01 by a hundredth of a second, just barely pulling that one off. Contenders Luke Doran finished third. Tom Abramitis, iRacing employee, not here tonight, but he finished fourth. Edward Kane with a strong top 5 there. So really good to see. Was a fantastic race, and we'll see if Chris Carroll can carry that momentum here tonight. Again, currently setting first on the leaderboard in practice. Also up there is the 66 Civil Tech machine, Nick Burris. Nick Burris finished 6th last week, so another top 10 car running well here. Try to find our competitor here on the track. Somebody to highlight here. Brad Ward. Oh no, that's James Ward, sorry. Let's see, there is the Civil Tech 66 machine, currently second on the speed charts. Nick Burris coming off that 6th place finish. Hopefully carry that green and black machine to another strong finish and keep that good standing in the points. It's going to be important to be consistent and stay within striking distance of that man, the 99 machine of Chris Carroll. Thomas Gras out there in chat, Carroll needs an EOL after every caution. We may do that. Chris Carroll rule in effect. As we ride along with Brian Dobson making his second start with the league. Session is wrapping up, so we will go over to qualifying. We won't be able to view that necessarily, but we'll hang on until then. There's the Ford machine of Jaden Hopp, TRD Toyota. As our field goes into qualifying, we'll keep an eye on that as they begin to make their laps. We'll talk about a few things. Points coming into tonight. We'll take a look at those. Chris Carroll, of course, on top of the leaderboard with 44 points, getting that bonus point for leading a lap last week. Brian Traeger with his 2nd place finish is in 2nd points. Luke Doran led the most laps, led a lap, got a couple of bonus points there. Currently tied for 2nd place. So real strong contention there. Top 10 finishers shown there at the top of the point standings. Bit of a shakeup. Got to highlight defending champion Brandon Sheffield, 3rd on the leaderboard in this practice session. Actually had some issues with his computer and everything like that going into last week's race, which caused him to start the race about 6 laps down. ended up with the poor finish, so he'll need to be consistent the rest of the way through this season to be able to claim a second championship in a row. So it'll be difficult road ahead as his biggest competition, Chris Carroll, picked up the win last week. Moving forward, the eSpeed Stock Car Series running Tuesday nights. 10-week schedule. We do have one drop week. Legacy Atlanta, going back to the old dog league there. Love that track. Next week, probably will be broadcasting that one. We'll keep an eye on it. Then we'll head to the short track in Iowa, Pocono, Chicagoland, the road course at Road America, Nashville Fairgrounds, Darlington, and then wrap the season up in Kansas. For sure, we're going to be broadcasting Chicagoland and Kansas, but we'll likely broadcast some more of these along the way, having fun with that and everything. So let us know how it's looking. We'll talk about our current qualifying right now. Jaden Hopp on the top of the board in that number 4 machine. Big surprise there. Wasn't that high up in the practice charts, but good showing by him. Chris Carroll, who was at the top of the speed charts, in second. Brad Ward, he'll be a contender. Very fast gentleman in the number 87 Lordco machine. He is currently third. Luke Doran tied for second with Brian Traeger. They're setting now 4th and 5th on the old Q chart. So good start for them. Let's talk about some new series here at eSpeed Race League. We have some short track action coming Thursday nights, hopefully starting August 25th, an 8-week schedule. Starting out 5 flags, it's going to be a mixture of regular 100-lap races and some twin 50s, twin 75s, 2 races in one night. So should be a whole lot of fun. It's coming Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, fixed late model stock car racing. You'll find it here at the eSpeed Race League. You can check that out and sign up at the link at the website, eSpeedRCNG.com. A lot of good stuff ahead. Some more exciting special events also going to be announced. Wink, wink, Thomas Craw, if you're still out there. We'll be talking about that hopefully in the near future with some exciting action coming up. So here tonight, we are going to be running 115 laps around this speedway. So going to be a good action. We'll have to see what this field, traditionally with this league, a whole lot of green flag racing. We'll see if we can keep that up. Daytona kind of proved that. Only a couple of cautions, one during green flag pit stops, and then another one way towards the end. We ended up walking away with a few damaged cars, as always, several big ones. One on the white flag lap. I ended up taking a bunch of our contenders out. Left a 4-way battle there at the end with Chris Carroll coming up triumphant, just squeaking out the win over Brian Traeger. Would have been Brian Traeger's, I believe, first win in the league, maybe second. I got to take a look at the record book on that, so not really sure. But here tonight, right now on the pole position, that is the number 4 of Jaden Hopp. We should be getting close to wrapping up qualifying here. Oh, big shot up the board here late. The number 20 car, Steven Gibson. Got all Toyota front row. Jaden Hopp, Steven Gibson, 1-2. Gibson coming in late to get that outside position on the front row. That's going to knock Chris Carroll back down to third. That might be a blessing, though. Always better to start on the inside, at speedways like this. So we'll see how that works out. One thing about this track likes a real late apex. So we'll have to see how those restarts are affected by that. We should be getting ready to go green. We will take a look at our field once they get lined up.
Is it that bad, or is he getting screwed over by the latest patch?
Here we go.
Not sure. We kind of lost him in chat. He was here, wasn't here. Something with VR. He walked too far away.
Run through. Oh, we may have some troubles with our defending champion, Brand Sheffield, already having some technical issues. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see if he can get the 96 machine back into the field. Sheffield doesn't appear to have qualified, so he would have been coming back from the back anyways, but we'll see if he can get logged in. take a look as soon as we get cars loaded into the session. We'll run through the field. 115 laps. There is a tire limit in this race. Can only run 4 total sets. There'll be a bit of some tire management. This league is fixed setup. The setup starts out a little bit tight, so these drivers will be having to manage those tires. We'll roll through the starting lineup there on the pole position. The number 4, that is Jaden Hopp on his outside, and that FedEx number 20, that is Steven Gibson. Season 1 champ Chris Carroll starting in the 3rd position in that blue number 99 Chevy Camaro. On his outside, that is Brad Ward in the number 87 Lordco Motorsports car. On the inside of row 5, that is Lucas Doran in the Highside Motorsports machine. On his outside, number 2 in points, tied with him with Luke Doran, that is Brian Traeger in the number 6 machine. In the 00, that is Neon Tiger. Check him out on Twitch. That is Brian Zalbeski. On his outside, in the number 86 Team GDR machine, that is Jason Jackson. His teammate on the inside of row 5, the 66 Civil Tech Engineering car, that is Nick Baris. On his outside, number 28, Brian Zimmerman in the USA Firearms 851 Camaro. In row 6, number 14, that is Alex C. Harris on his outside, another Highside Motorsports machine. That is Lawrence Shaughnessy. On the inside of row number 7, the number 10, eCaneCPA.com. Check him out. The accountant has count in its name. That is Edward Kane. We will stop there as our field gets ready to go racing. Lights are off on the pace car as we are getting ready to mix it up. Your pole sitter Jaden Hopp in the number 4 TRD Toyota. We'll see how this goes. He controls starts and restarts. That's going to be all on leader. So it'll be important for him to get a good jump here. He can go as soon as the pace car is off. And there he goes. Good start by Jaden Hopp. Comes down to take the green flag. Chris Carroll easily squeaks on the inside of Steven Gibson. We'll see how that battle goes here as everybody looks to make it through turn 1 and 2 cleanly. Right now, the battle would be for that 4th position between Brad Ward in the 87 Lordco Auto Parts car and Brian Traeger. Now, one thing to look out for is how these drivers are working these tires. This setup, again, like I said, starts out a little bit tight. You might want to protect that right front, and that looks to be what Chris Carroll is doing. He's currently backing up these cars behind him. Oh, he is going to duck to the inside and appears to maybe be letting Steven Gibson and Brad Ward by. We are got a gaggle stacking up behind him. Looks like maybe Carroll either has some technical difficulties or is just trying to back it up, not burn up any tires, try to save some. So we'll keep an eye on that. As you see back there in the back of 14 machine, shoots it to the outside. But currently right now, looks like Chris Carroll's playing the tire game, trying to save some, letting some of these guys push it early on. As Carroll has fallen from the 2nd position all the way back to about 5th at this time. So a lot of moving and shaking, but right now the man on a mission, Jaden Hopp, jumping out to a 2-second lead on the field. Currently gapping the field early on in this 115 lap race is that number 4 Toyota Supra of Jaden Hopp. Running second, the 87 Lordco Auto Parts machine, that is Brad Ward. As you see him going by there, got 2/10 on the 20 machine of Steven Gibson. Take a look at some of the battles back here. Right now you have, we got a possible change for second place. Steven Gibson ducks underneath the 87 of Brad Ward. So you can tell already some people managing tires. Brian Zimmerman's now going to come along with Gibson underneath Brad Ward. Some strategy at play. You know, reduced tire sets, that is going to affect things with only 4 tire sets total in this race. And this league being notorious for long green flag runs. You can see some people saving tires and whatnot. We'll go back here to the back and ride along with the 66 machine of Nick Parise. Last couple times I've seen him dive into turn 1. It's taken a little bit of a higher line from what I can tell. So we'll keep an eye on that. Tends to slide up. See there, the 44 machine of Derek Whitford. Seems like coming in a little too hot into turn 1, which that is very easy to do. Turn 1 very, you know, this track in its own right is very interesting in the fact that it is such tight apexes. So you have these long straightaways, but then the really narrow paper clipping in turns, both 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Just really sharp apexes there, which makes it a little bit different than a lot of the cookie cutter tracks you see. Brian Zimmerman has moved into second place, getting around both Brad Ward and Steven Gibson. Still finds himself about 3.1 seconds back from the leader, Jaden Hopp, but Brian Zimmerman on the move. We'll have to kind of keep an eye how this lead that Jaden Hopp has built, if he can maintain that. It's going to be difficult at the pace he is. We'll have to see with the tire situation here. This track notorious for eating up right fronts on a tight setup. If he's able to maintain that large lead here, working lap 10, or coming to lap 10 of this 115 lap race. Right now, Jaden Hopp just a tick slower than Brian Zimmerman that time by. So still running a very fast pace is Jaden Hopp. Currently about 3.2 seconds back from that man in the 28, that being Brian Zimmerman, the USA Firearms machine. Take a look back through the field. It has single filed out, but that doesn't mean that we don't have exciting racing. We got the 14 of Alex Harris currently in 10th spot, looking to try and get around the high side motorsports machine of Lauren Shaughnessy. Alex Harris working that low line, see if he can get the runoff out of the corner. Oh, bit of swerve action. Lawrence came down off the wall. Alex came up, almost a collision there. Lawrence fighting back hard on the outside, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to maintain it. And he's now under pressure from the 44 Cool Breeze Racing machine of Derek Whitford. Derek Whitford so far moving up 5 positions through the race so far, starting 16th and now currently running 11th. This field running rather close together everywhere except the leader way out in front. So it's interesting to see the how tight this field actually is from second all the way back here to 11th place. We'll take a step back. Just behind him are the 2 Team GDR cars, the 86 of Edward Kane, the 86 of Jason Jackson, the 10 of Edward Kane. Edward Kane getting a top 5 finish last week. Hid just behind him is Brian Zalbeski. Zalbeski slid back 7 spots from the start, starting 7th, now currently showing in 14th. Neon Tiger. We'll see if that's more of a tire saving strategy or how on that, see if he can work his way up as these tires start to wear out. Just behind Zalbeski, that's the 79 machine of Alan Wilson III, the 3rd member of Highside Motorsports, here running in the 15th position. As our field is running on lap 15. Brian Traeger starting to fade back a little bit. Traeger was running in the top 5, has lost spots to the number 5 of Luke Doran, the 66 of Nick Burris, and now is getting ready to lose another position to the 14 of Alex Harris. So Traeger's starting to slide back 3 spots from his original starting spot. As we are working on lap 15, starting to see how the tire management is working, but right now, leading every lap so far, loving that clean air, is the 4 car of Jaden Hopp. Has been able to maintain about a 3-second lead from the start. We'll have to see. Now, fuel window for these cars here today, if we go green, is going to be about 67 laps. So if we continue to move ahead at this pace, we'll have to see by the end of that run how bad the tires are for some of these people who've built out a big lead. We got a battle for the 3rd position. Chris Carroll making his way back up front, as he has actually, Brad Ward and Chris Carroll have moved around the 20 car of Steven Gibson. Chris Carroll's going to take another spot, sneaking past Brad Ward for that 3rd position. So Chris Carroll, very early on, started off really slow. Was appearing to be a total tire savings gambit, as he has now worked his way back up into the 3rd position where he started, and looking to set his sights on Brian Zimmerman in that number 28 machine, setting about a second ahead of the 99 car of Chris Carroll. Lot of strategy at play here. One thing to point out, with the fuel window being at lap 67, that is going to be close to the halfway point, but there's enough room to play that we may see some drivers try to short pit it or stretch it out. So a lot of strategy could be up in the air. We do see Brian Zimmerman starting to make some gains on Jaden Hopp. Has started to move within 3 seconds of the leader. Brian Zimmerman, driver that has moved up the most positions, had a strong showing at Daytona. Unfortunately, had a errant mishap towards the end of the race that ended up costing him. Ended up giving a little bit too much of a room on the bottom. Let a car sneak in, and by the time you realized it, they had touched and caused the big one towards the end of the race. So Zimmy trying to rebound here tonight, currently setting in the 2nd position, moving up to 8 spots from the 10th position from the beginning of the race. So great job by him, the boss man at USAFirearms.com, slowly cutting down that lead, still just under 3 seconds. But this man right here, fastest on the track, the tire saver, that is Chris Carroll, your points leader. Last week's winner, going to try and make it 2 in a row. Is trying to close in the gap not only on Brian Zimmerman, but your leader, Jaden Hopp. As you have Brad Ward in the 87 Lordco Motorsports machine, running in the 4th position, followed by the 20 of Steven Gibson. The 66 there, that is Nick Burris. The 14 Gatorade machine of Alex Harris. Luke Doran, Highside Motorsports, in the number 5, currently running in the 8th position. Brian Traeger currently setting 9th. That is Luke Doran and Brian Traeger. Those are currently tied for 2nd place in points. Right now running in the back half of the top 10. They're looking for another good points day. We'll see if they can move the head back into the top 5 as this race persists. Shout out to Lawrence Shaughnessy, Highside Motorsports machine, number 9. He was having a good run at Daytona. All 3 of his teammates got caught in a bit of a gaggle towards the end, though. Ended up wrecking out him and Alan Wilson III. 2 of the 3 Highside Motorsports machines. Luke Doran caught a break, ended up finishing 3rd. just outside the top 10. That is Jason Jackson in the 86 machine, Team GDR driver, looking to start to make a move into the top 10, trying to get around Lauren Shaughnessy. We'll have to keep an eye on that. A bit of a, we'll see if recent dynamics come into play in another league these two run in. We got word of an incident at Richmond in the next gen car, so we'll keep an eye on how that goes throughout the race. Right now, Lauren's moving back ahead a few car lengths of the 86 machine. We'll take it, continue through the field. Derek Whitford in the number 44, Cool Breeze Racing on Twitch. It's always a good follow, so check him out there. Currently running 12th. Just maintaining right now, currently, Ed Kane, ekanecpa.com if you need an accountant. Tax season is always around the corner. Check him out. Ed had a 5th place finish last week, currently running, actually 4th place finish last week, currently running in the 13th spot. Minding his time, trying to hold back the 79 of Alan Wilson III. Highside Motorsports putting the pressure on him. See, well within that gap. Then Robbie Harpin's little brother out there in the 15th spot. eSpeed RC and G Camaro running a respectable 15th. Good for him. Neon Tiger's moved back up to the 16th spot. The 00 machine. Keep an eye on that as he continues on. He had a 10th place finish last week, so I know he's going to be wanting to capitalize on that and continue with the good finish. Larry Bell back here in the 17th spot in the 43 machine. The Iron Man of the league, him and Brian Traeger have ran all the official events we have, so really appreciate the participation there. And back here in the, let's see, 18th spot, that is Lordco Motorsports boss man, or Lordco Auto Parts boss man James Ward in the 81 machine. Proud papa to Brad Ward running with us again. Appreciate him coming back out here, running well. Derek Whitford in the 21, running about 15 seconds from the pack. And then you have Dan Ursel just behind him in 20th spot. Point out one car that is trying his hardest to get back on the lead lap due to second week in a row of technical difficulties. That's last season's champion, Brandon Sheffield, struggling with some of the computer issues here lately. He's going to be needing a caution to try and get back on the lead lap and back into contention. Last week, ended up having issues at the start, which cost him dearly. Started the race down 6 laps. Unfortunately, he is again down another lap here early on in this one. So we'll see if Brandon can catch a break, get a caution. Then you back behind him in 22nd spot. That is Brian Dobson, newcomer to the league in that Dirty Mo Media offer pad machine. Appreciate him supporting the league, coming out here and racing with us. But right now, your leader, since the green flag has dropped, that is Jaden Hopp. Jaden Hopp on a blistering pace. Started to extend the lead, actually. There for a minute, it looked like Brian Zimmerman, Chris Carroll were going to be able to close the distance, but he's now extended it out to 3.5 seconds. Looks to have been maybe the fastest car. Him and Chris Carroll very close as far as fast laps that time by. So Jaden Hopp off the start getting some good clean air, and he's used that to his advantage as he's moved out, as we're about halfway into the fuel run here on lap 32 of this 115 lap race. Well, we'll talk about some upcoming events here at eSpeed Race League. We are kicking the tires on a new series, the Late Model Tour. Getting ready to run fixed setup late model stock car asphalt oval racing Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Got a nice little 8-week schedule, 1 drop week. kicking off August 25th at Five Flags. Be sure to check us out at eSpeedRCNG.com if you are interested in racing with us, or if you want to just check out the league in general. We are still taking sign-ons for the Stock Car Series. We are in week 2, but we have some great racing coming up. August 23rd, Legacy Atlanta. Then we have Iowa, Pocono, Chicagoland, all on the schedule here soon. We'll be broadcasting many of these races. The ones guaranteed so far, Chicagoland and Kansas, but don't be surprised if we end up broadcasting some more here in the near future. But right now, maintaining about a 3.5 second lead, the number 4 machine of Jaden Hopp. Really running fast laps, maintaining that gap. He is going to be working some lap traffic here coming up as the 7 machine of Brian Dobson right there coming up. Dobson battling a real tight race car. That's one thing with this the setup here tonight. A bit of a tight one, so tire management is of the essence, and right now the master of that has been Jaden Hopp out front. He's kind of worried with the pace he was setting early on if he was going to be able to maintain that. Right now the battle for second, though, is heating up as Chris Carroll has closed the distance of about 6/7 tenths of a second on the 28 car of Brian Zimmerman. So we'll keep an eye on that battle as Jaden has navigated around the 7 car of Brian Dobson. Brian Dobson currently struggling with that the number 7 Chevy, currently a little bit tight there. But right now we got a race for second place as you have Brian Zimmerman in the 28 USA Firearms machine trying to hold off our points leader Chris Carroll in the number 99 Nexus Pit Lizard Performance machine there. We'll have to take a look right now. Chris Carroll fastest by about a couple tenths of a second. So Chris Carroll has started to pick up the pace now that we are 38 laps in. We'll see if he can get around the 28 of Brian Zimmerman. I know those two are good friends. We'll see if Zimmy gives them any room here. Friends doesn't mean he's going to knock all over him, but we'll keep an eye on that if this affects the battle to get around Zimmy and maybe catch Jaden Hopp, the number 99 machine of Chris Carroll. Here as we are about 25 laps from the pit window, max fuel you can go. As well as, keep an eye on if, oh, here we go. There's the move for second. Zimmy's going to go ahead and stay high. He knows Carroll is faster. We'll take a look at the speeds this time by 32.3 by Jaden Hopp. Chris Carroll 32.2. So about 1/10 of a second faster there. Chris Carroll. Brian Zimmerman slowest at a 32.7. So you can see some right front issues starting to rise up for the 28 machine, starting to fall back. Highlighting the 66 machine of Nick Parise. Has moved up to the 4th position. So up 5 positions from start. Nick on a tear. He's gotten around Brad Ward. Brad Ward coming really high off the corner. A lot of these guys starting to struggle with that right front, but impressive performance by Nick Parise. This will be 2 weeks in a row. He had a top 10 as we got a car pitting already on lap 40. That is Lawrence Shaughnessy. James Ward also in, as our drivers are starting to make their way around the lap car of Brian Dobson. Right now, Chris Carroll running about 1/10 of a second faster than our leader, Jaden Hopp. So we'll see how that, if he can slowly close that gap. That 4-second gap Jaden has built up has been impressive. So a lot of work ahead for Chris Carroll. He's going to probably need a clean in and out of the pits and everything like that to be able to maintain. We'll keep an eye as some cars have made their way down pit road. As you see, Dan Ursel now making his exit. So as soon as the pit road has opened, some of these cars in the back of the pack have started to come down pit road. We got Edward Kane now making the move. Get a four fresh tires. So interesting strategy for some of these cars, trying to get out there with some fresh rubber. Tried to pick up the pace and maybe see if a two-tire strategy is actually more effective than running out there with old car tires, trying to stretch it to the end of the fuel window of lap 67. But it's been the Jaden Hopp show here tonight. That young driver in the number 4 machine putting on an impressive performance. Has led since the start, working lap 45 this time. But we'll see how the mix of strategy works, as he'll be dealing with some of the lap traffic, probably trying to unlap themselves after the 4 fresh tires. We see that Lawrence Shaughnessy, looks like Edward Kane has maybe pulled the number 10 machine in, as it looks like he has DC'd. Unfortunate to see he's going to fall down the charts, especially after that impressive performance last week at Daytona. So this may end up being his drop week. Chris Carroll currently running in second. Carroll trying to track down the 4 machine of Jaden Hopp. Hopp has been able to maintain about a 4-second lead. Again, running 32.3s. Chris Carroll just a tick faster, but still not able to make up much ground as it stands right now. We'll take a look back at the battle for 3rd place, as it's about a second separating the 28 of Brian Zimmerman and the 66 of Nick Parise. Zimmy ran 2nd or 3rd this whole entire race, so good on him, a good performance. He's going to need it after the heartbreaker that was Daytona. Zimmy leading well into the end of last week's race. Ended up wrecking, though, in the big one, so unfortunate to see. Nick Parise on another strong performance, as he ran in the top 5 by the end of last week's race. So he's trying to build on that performance to have another top 10 run. Brad Ward had a bit of some issues. Getting really tight on exit there. You can see him drift up the track. That might heat up the battle for this 5th position, as 2nd place in points, Brian Traeger pulls within a few car lengths of the 87 Lordco Auto Parts machine. Right there also is the 28, number 20 FedEx car. That is Stephen Gibson. Some good battles here, up and down the speed charts. Yeah, you can see just really, really tight. That 87 machine struggling here towards the end of the run. Almost getting into the outside wall. Brian Traeger now looking to work for that 5th position. Try and get his way back into the top 5 and around the 87 car. He's going to be able to do that. We'll see if that opens the door for the 20 machine of Stephen Gibson. Also right there, the number 14 of Alex Harris. Also tied in 2nd place in points there, rounding out, well, in 9th. That is Luke Doran. As we see Brad Ward battling back, trying to get back around the number 6 of Brian Traeger. Looks to have maybe found the line after following Traeger for a little bit. Battle of the Ford Mustangs. The 6 and the A7. We'll keep an eye on Ward, see how he exits. Yeah, coming out of the corner a lot shallower that time by, hopefully helping him with the speed a little bit, as Ward is struggling with a little bit of a tight race car. That car moving through the field on fresh tires. That is the 9 of Lawrence Shaughnessy. Lawrence is trying to make up some ground as he pitted around lap 41, blinking out just there for a second. That was Stephen Gibson. Lawrence Shaughnessy trying to unlap himself, making a strategy call, coming in early, well before the pit window. But actually on the outside of the fuel window, so he's going to try and stretch it the rest of the way. Again, about 65, 70 laps is what you need to go with to get to the end of the fuel run. So maybe Lawrence trying to make a strategy call and pick up as many positions here by the end of the race as possible. Working his way around the 87 of Brad Ward, and now around the 5th place car of Brian Traeger. Shaughnessy running about half second faster than our leaders. Again, this gap between third and fourth place still narrowing up, about 6 tenths of a second out. Nick Parise trying to get up there and challenge Brian Zimmerman for the 3rd position. And we'll go take a look at the battle for the lead, because Chris Carroll is starting to edge his way into Jaden Hopp's lead. Now only about 2.5 seconds out, as Jaden has started to deal with some lap traffic. Getting ready to work around the 21 machine of Darrell Whitford. Whoa, Darrell Whitford coming a little shallow off the corner. That affected Jaden's line. We'll see if that is going to cost
You got the bottom here, Lauren.
some little bit of time for Jaden, as Chris Carroll starts to narrow that gap. He doesn't have another lap car to deal with for a while.
Thank you.
But Jaden Hopp only about 2.5 seconds out from 2nd place Chris Carroll, as you see Carroll entering in turn 3 right there. As we are working lap 56, these cars extremely tight.
Inside here, Lawrence.
Off the quarter, as you can see, Carroll just edging up closer and closer to that outside wall, and that's where we're going to see a lot of problems for people, is working towards that. Oh, caution is out. We'll see if we can find it. That might be the break Brandon Sheffield needed. We need to find the caution. Not sure who brought that one out. But this might change the game for Brandon Sheffield, who was needing every little bit to try and get back on the lead lap. Still unable to find that caution. Oh, looks like it was the 14 of Alex Harris. So we'll take a look at that here, try to figure out what happened to Alex.
Won't you around me, Alex? Oh, my bad, Dan. Sorry. Got confused on which car was which.
Well, it looks like this is between the 20 car of Stephen Gibson and the 14 of Alex Harris. We'll take a look at this. Coming out of Ford, you see the 20 car just get tight. Actually, about 3 cars in a row just get tight. That's also Luke Doran, Alex Harris, Stephen Gibson. Unbelievable. Top contenders right there getting caught up in that one. Unfortunate to see. But some big damage on the 14 as our field makes their way down for pit stops. We'll watch the race off pit road. Jaden Hopp currently getting a full set of tires, as well as the rest of the field. Chris Carroll's going to be out 2nd. Brian Zimmerman 3rd. Brian Traeger 4th. Brad Ward 5th. Jason Jackson makes the jump a little bit there. He's going to be a big beneficiary. Whoa, car falling back. Nick Parise came in 4th. He's going to come out about 8th, so we'll keep an eye on that. But 3 of our top 10 contenders, also tied for second place in points, Luke Doran. Those guys, you know, in some tough luck hitting the wall. Not sure what happened there, if we had some blown tires or what. We'll try and get, check the Discord, see if we can get some in-race reporting. Try and find out what happened there. We'll talk to Alex Harris. Alex Harris, this is Rocky in the broadcast booth. I want to follow up. Looked like you were involved in that incident. Unfortunately, sorry to see that. Can you tell us what happened there?
First distance. I just followed the guy into the wall.
Yeah, unfortunate to see. Yeah, it looked like all 3 of you guys, Stephen Gibson and Luke Doran there, just ended up getting caught up in that. Did the tire blow, or was it just so tight there at the end of the run?
Wasn't on my end.
Gotcha, totally understand. All right, we will move you back down to your channel.
I'm gonna get real.
Unfortunate to see
I don't think it was a race-winning strategy.
that instant come up. I know that is some tough luck for Alex Harris. Also had a tough week at Daytona.
Fall-off seemed to go
Unfortunate
past,
to
like,
see.
32.5, so I didn't think it was going to be
Lawrence Shaughnessy,
a two-stop.
Ed Kane, James Ward, and looks like Dan Ursel,
Right around 10.
Brian Dobson. Those cars came in early in the session. They're going to take the wave around. The big beneficiary there is Brandon Sheffield, our past champion. He needed a break 2 weeks in a row with some issues with the some tech issues. Gets the lucky dog, gets his lap back. We'll see where he shakes out. I think he'll have to fall to the end of the longest line, being the lucky dog, currently being scored in 11th. So big break for Brandon Sheffield to be able to come back from a lap down, now in contention to fight for the win. So we'll keep an eye on that 96 machine as we get ready to go green. Drivers should be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel. They also have 2 sets of tires setting in the pit, so tires shouldn't be a factor going forward unless we get a string of cautions here. And you know what they say, cautions breed cautions. So right now, Jaden Hopp, he is in control. Chris Carroll on the outside row. The second row, that is Brian Zimmerman on the inside in the 28 machine, and then Brian Traeger, second place in points in the 6.
Entering 3 right now. Back to
As the pace car lights are off, we will go back racing here, working lap 62 of this 115 lap race. We're just over halfway in this one. Jaden Hopp controls the start. And here we go back. He gets a great jump on Chris Carroll. Brian Zimmerman's going to battle on the inside. No look there. Carroll shuts the door on Zimmerman. With the green flag runs that this league tends to bring out, we'll have to see if Carroll goes on his strategy to save tires or if he pushes a little bit harder this time, knowing that he let Jaden Hopp build about a 4-second lead during that last run. We got to move for the 4th position as Brad Ward looks to the inside of the 6 machine, see if he can bring his Team GDR teammates. Nick Parise, Jason Jackson also around the number 6 Mustang. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Traeger right now maintaining that 5th position, but Nick Parise diving in hard into turn 3. Looks to have edged out a bit of a gap, but not being able to close the door. Traeger battling on the outside. That might be the move to save the right front tire. But right now, that's also going to bring Jason Jackson. Lined up behind him is also Brian Zalbeski, Brandon Sheffield. Sheffield looking to make a move around the 00 this time. Sheffield looking racy here tonight. Now looking to try and get around Brian Traeger. Traeger just slams the door shut though. Jason Jackson was able to get around Traeger for the 6th position. Oh, now we got another car making a move up the field. That is the 44 of Derek Whitford. Start to get the feeling, some desperation here. As we move up for the battle of 2nd place, we got a tight one. Chris Carroll, your points leader, last week's winner, trying to hold off the 28 of Brian Zimmerman and the 87 of Brad Ward. So far successful as the field makes its way down the front stretch. All these cars been battling in the top 3, top 5 all night long. Currently letting Jaden Hopp move out into about a 2nd lead, or a 2nd lead over 2nd place. As we start to single file out, we'll take a look at the battle back here. Got a good one brewing between teammates Jason Jackson in 6th, Brandon Sheffield in 7th. Jason Jackson sliding up the track. That's going to open the door for Brandon. Brandon working on the inside down the backstretch. Sheffield getting a big break. The lucky dog and a good restart on a good set of tires. Will move himself in the 6th position. And he'll set his sights on
Was trying to. He's going to be pitting at some point.
his other teammate, Nick Maurice.
Next lap up. Yeah.
As we'll take back through the field, I think we're having a bit of an issue. There's some damaged cars. There is the 14 of Alex Harris. Is able to get some damage fixed on that machine. Unfortunate to see. Luke Doran's going to bring the 5 car in. Significant damage on the front end of that one. Getting caught up in that wreck with Steven Gitson and Alex Harris. Unfortunate to see them have a rough week. As you see, Steven Gitson running in the 13th spot, currently under pressure from the 43 of Larry Bell. Larry Bell going to go ahead and take that position. Tires matter, as we see, in the long run, so still could have some issues here towards the end. I don't know how hard these guys are going to be pushing here in the 2nd half of the race, but we have about an equal amount of run. So considering the tire issues we had at the first half, or the end of the first run, here towards the end of this one could get interesting, as we have about 45 laps or 46 laps left in this 115 lap race. Jaden Hopp currently your leader, but the man closing the distance, trying to get in striking distance. That's your points leader. Chris Carroll sitting just outside a 2nd. He's not going to let Jaden build up the big lead he had in the first half. Jaden got out to about 4 seconds. This time it's been only been able to maintain about 0.8 of a second since the restart. So, you know, guys are pushing a little bit harder that time by. Brian Zimmerman, fastest on the track with the 31.4. So we'll keep an eye on that. How these guys are able to maintain the tires through this 2nd run. As we got a battle brewing up for 2nd place. Chris Carroll, Brian Zimmerman. Setting about 0.3 of a second between each other. These two guys, good buds here at the eSpeed League, so interesting to see them race neck and neck as they have here tonight. Zimmy giving Carroll his money's worth for that 2nd position. Keeping him honest, but they have currently nothing for the 4 car of Jaden Hopp, who's now started to extend his lead. That time running one of the fastest laps so far. But the big mover, since getting his lap back, that is Brandon Sheffield. He has moved into the top 5, getting around his teammate Nick Maurice. The 96, your defending Stock Car Series champion, is trying to get up to the front. Challenge for the lead. Let's look at that time. He was about a second faster, tenth of a second faster than your leader. So Sheffield pushing it to the limit. We'll see if he can get there to the front. He's going to have to get around next his other teammate Brad Ward in the Lordco Auto Parts machine. Team GDR Mustangs right there, set behind the Camaros of Chris Carroll and Brian Zimmerman, then setting further back from the Toyota of Jaden Hopp. As we are within 40 to go, Jaden Hopp has controlled this thing from the start. He'll get credit for leading the most laps. That extra vital bonus point is going to be big going into the point standings. We do also have a total points purse of $150 on the line for those who are participating in the points purse program. So Jaden Hopp trying to do his best. 50% of that purse goes to the winner. That would be the $75 at this current moment. So we'll be closing that before the start of the third race of the season. So Jaden Hopp currently, as it sets, could walk away with a big points victory. He's going to need it after the heartbreaker that was Daytona. Jaden Hopp running in the top 5 before an errant block late in the race stuffed him in the outside wall, causing a big caution. Not of his doing. He was trying his best to make it 3 wide and make a pass to be there for the lead. And unfortunately got stuffed in the backstretch wall, which caused a big wreck. He currently has a 1.3 second lead over second place. But right now, the battle for 4th position heating up as Brand Sheffield, new lease on life, is making everything of it, working underneath his teammate, the 87 of Brad Ward. He's going to be able to close out that pass. Brand Sheffield needing a really good run here through the rest of the season, since how the computer issues at the start of Daytona pretty much made that his drop week. Sheffield's going to need to do all he can to try and defend his championship. Putting on a great show here. Moved up 19 positions from the start of this race. Actually started the race 1 lap down. Caught a break with the wreck between Steven Gibson, Alex Harris, and Luke Doran. Was able to get the lucky dog and make his way quickly up through the field. We'll see how those tires are working out. As you see Brad Ward starting to fade, he's going to let Nick Baris by. Team GDR currently running 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th. So strong showing from that team. Here we are getting ready to start on lap 82 of 115. As you see Brian Dobson about to go another lap down. Looks like Lord Shaughnessy has pulled his car into the pits, as well as Luke Doran. So tough luck there for Highside Motorsports. As for the second week in a row, a caution has caused Lord Shaughnessy on strategy. And currently finds himself in the pits. Let's see if we can look at the gap. Right now, Brand Sheffield only 2.7 seconds back from your leader, Jaden Hopp. But Jaden's starting to extend that lead over the field. Maybe that quick come up through the field is starting to affect the tires on that 96 Mustang. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll take a look at the rest of the field. Brian Traeger, who actually started in the top 5 on that last restart, has fallen back to about 8th position. The 6 car currently 2nd place in points, finished 2nd at Daytona, being shown in 8th, about 5.6 seconds back from the leader. Behind him, the last remaining Highside Motorsports car, the 79 of Alan Wilson III, running 9th. Just behind him, the 00, that is Brian Zalbeski, currently running 10th. 10th place showing out as Zalbeski last week, so he's been consistently flirting with the top 10 each week. Good showing by him. So Neon Tiger on Twitch, make sure to follow. Really good there. Derek Whitford in the 44 Cool Breeze Racing, currently shown in the 11th position. Just behind him, Robbie Harpins in the eSpeed Racing Machine, number 11. Looks like in 12th spot, so solid run for that driver there. Larry Bell in 13 in the 43 machine. Daryl Whitford 14th in the 21 car. Just behind him, unfortunate circumstances with damage, that's Alex Harris. Currently finds himself in 15th. Still a top 15 run, even though dealing with some damage. It's unfortunate. Running solidly in the top 10 on that first run. As may have heard some crashing there. We'll take a look. So far, not seeing anything. As it looks like Brandon Sheffield has closed the gap on 3rd place a little bit. Now setting 0.7 of a second from Brian Zimmerman. Sheffield still running some pretty fast laps. But the man of the night, that is Jaden Hopp. Jaden Hopp has led every lap so far in that number 4 Toyota TRD Supra. Has been the class of the field, currently setting a 2.5 on the number 99. Chris Carroll, we'll have to look at the speeds this time by. Chris Carroll just a tick faster, about a couple hundredths of a second, so we may have a battle brewing up as we are nearing 25 to go. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see who can save tires as we have this run to the finish. Currently showing 15 cars on the lead lap, with just a handful of cars out. So yeah, Jaden Hopp with a good show. Still just a little bit slower than Chris Carroll. Chris Carroll just very slowly closing the gap. The 99 Pit Lizard Performance looking for 2 wins in a row. If he does that, the Chris Carroll rule goes in effect. He'll have to start at the back of the pack for the next race. Whoa, little action there. As a lap car, Dan Ursel on fresher tires makes his way through the field, getting around James Ward, another lap car. Now working around Brian Zimmerman. So a little action from these lap down machines that are on Tire Strategy as Jaden works around the 7 of Brian Dobson. Dobson currently shown a few laps down here tonight. Currently setting 6 laps down, it looks like. Only car out, that is Steven Gibson, making his exit on lap 92. Unfortunate to see. Or actually, yeah, looks like he ended up exiting out due to the damage he sustained in that first caution. As Dan Ursel works around the 99 of Chris Carroll. So some strategy there as some cars that car pitted on lap 82, so about 10 lap fresh tires. as some drivers did get caught with older tires pitting on lap 41, and then a caution coming out on lap 62 right before the rest of the field made their green flag stops. You know, tires are of an issue. This setup a little bit on the tight side. People are going to be burning up those right fronts. Right now, that lead has been sustained by Jaden Hopp, about 1.3 seconds. He's going to have to deal with some of these lap cars on fresher tires. So we'll keep an eye on that. Oh, we have Brad Ward. May have fallen out of the race. We'll try to find out what happened. Brad Ward was running in the top 5. Looks like he has made his exit. Unfortunate to see. Pitting on lap 92. Brad Ward, always a top contender here. As we got a battle brewing for the 6th position. The 86 of Jason Jackson, the 6th of Brian Traeger, and the 79 of Alan Wilson III. Alan Wilson trying to make his way around Traeger as Jason Jackson runs up the track. And we might be having a fight for the lead here as Jaden Hopp dealing with the lap car of Dan Ursel. That is bringing Chris Carroll to the front. That once was a 1.5 second margin for the lead has now shrunk down to 0.6 seconds. As you see right there, that gap is shrinking ever so swiftly. Looks like the lap car of Dan Ursel gave Jaden Hopp quite a fight. And that might have cost some precious time, as Chris Carroll is now sniffing at the back door of Jaden Hopp. We are within 20 laps to go, and this battle is brewing up to be a good one. We'll have to take a look. We might have had a shift for 3rd place. Brand Sheffield, 3.3 seconds back from the leader, has gotten around the 3rd place car of Brian Zimmerman. Zimmerman now feeling pressure from the 66 machine of Nick Parise. You can see Zimmerman really getting tight on the exit of the corner. So tires coming into the play at the end of this one, as that lead has shrunk to 0.4 seconds. Jaden Hopp was the class of this one through most of this race. Now finds himself in a heated battle with 2nd place Chris Carroll, your points leader right there, knocking on the door to set up a sprint to the end. This has been all about tire attrition. As you see, Chris Carroll this time by just about 0.05 seconds faster than Jaden Hopp. With 16 laps to go, that's about all you need to maybe pull off the victory. Catching it, though, may be one thing. Getting around him might be a whole different ballgame. So, exciting stuff here tonight in the eSpeed Race League. 0.3 seconds as the laps are winding down. 15 to go. This time by, can our points leader, last week's winner, Chris Carroll, make it 2 in a row and pick up that win. You can see how loose that car is on entry. Carroll's been dealing with the lap traffic of James Ward running in his back mirror. That time by, losing a little bit of ground. Jaden Hopp now setting about 0.5 seconds out. Was Hopp just, saving some tires for this last fight? We'll have to keep an eye on that. Carroll at least made it interesting. That time by, about as even as can be on times between Chris Carroll and Jaden Hopp. Excuse me. Great racing here in the eSpeed Race League. Only one caution on lap 62. Yeah, 3-car pileup as we had Steven Gibson hit the wall in front of Alex Harris, Luke Doran. Luke Doran, second place in points, having a tough night here, currently being showed in 18th place. Unfortunate to see. That could help Chris Carroll immensely as he tries to extend his lead. Doran was tied for second place with Brian Traeger. Brian Traeger set in 6th. Good showing by that man, but would be losing some distance. As you can see, Carroll now starting to deal with some tightness. Jaden Hopp about 0.2 of a second faster that time by, and it shows as Jaden Hopp was able to extend his lead. As you see the field coming out at 2. As we near 10 laps to go. Jaden Hopp in the number 4 Toyota Supra. This is the race this young kid needed. Daytona was a bit of a disaster in the top 5 late. Gets caught up in a big wreck on the backstretch, which cost him dearly. So he needs a good points night here going forward. Try and pick up his first eSpeed Race League championship. Carroll starting to fade ever so slightly. Just has not had the tire management that Jaden Hopp has had here tonight. As we are working lap 106, so we are 10 laps to go. Chris Carroll has had to deal with the lap car of James Ward this whole last run. Ward, a little bit fresher tires, has been right there, but unfortunately Chris Carroll starting to fade. Now finds himself about 0.8 of a second from your leader. We'll take a look back here at the battle for third. Appears to start to heat up. Brandon Sheffield in the 96. Got a break from Lady Luck as he was a lap down due to some technical issues, some computer glitches. Ended up holding on until a caution at lap 62. Got him the lucky dog, and he raced his way up to the 3rd place. Currently about stalled out there. But great showing, great recovery. A little bit of damage on the right front of that 96 machine. May have tagged the wall. It's totally understandable, as this has been one of the tighter setups we have seen. His teammate, though, is right on his back bumper. That is the 66 machine of Nick Barris. Another good showing. Barris finished top 5 at Daytona last week, carrying the momentum here at Nashville, running top 5 again. Trying to eke out another points, maybe get up on that podium, get around the 96 of Brandon Sheffield. You can see that damage really affecting the 96 car, dealing with the tightness that's bringing. Barris trying to take that position. Yep, there you go. Sheffield way up the track. That's going to allow Barris to get underneath him down the backstretch. Barris shallow entry. That might not be the best line, but we'll see. Sheffield in that upper lane just does not have, big push. And that's going to allow Barris to take off and get that 3rd place. Still a great recovery by Brandon Sheffield. But Nick Barris is going to pull into the 3rd position. We'll take a look at the battle for 5th. As it's been Brian Zimmerman. Big push by him. And the 6th in the wall. Chases it down the backstretch. See if he can hang on to it. Unfortunate. That is your 2nd place in points. Big hit into the wall.
You can go by me, bro. This is over. I'm done here.
Unfortunate to see here with 5 laps to go.
Just hanging out here.
2nd place and points.
I didn't want to mess you guys up.
Falling back to 7th.
I appreciate it, man. That was
with the
cool.
big hit into the wall. That's going to affect him greatly. Brian Zalbeski right there. Jason Jackson, they're licking their chops, seeing the wounded animal of Brian Traeger with that big hit into the wall. we'll take a look at our lead here with 4 to go. It's been all Jane Hop. Jane Hop working around the lap traffic of Dan Ursel. Brian Dobson also right there. Chris Carroll having some issues with that car way up the track, trying to stay off the 7 machine. It's like that 7 car may be on a little bit fresher tires. The 99 of Chris Carroll. Won last week.
Hey, do thing, James. Show me knows, I'll give it to you.
1.5 seconds back from that man, Jaden Hop. Big race for him with 3 to go. It's been a consistent top 5 car here at the eSpeed Race League. Just a run of bad luck usually has hurt his seasons, but here tonight, he's put on a clinic and he's going to try and take that momentum through the rest of the 10-week season. Jaden Hop, 2 to go in that number 4 Toyota Supra.
I'm riding here, Derek.
Great showing here tonight.
Oh, let's get in the 3.
As Chris Carroll has faded back. No competition. Jaden Hop is going to win from the pole. Fantastic finish for him. 1 to go. Great, great race. Good run for this young man. We will try to get word with him post-race, as he is going to seal the deal and take round 2 of the eSpeed Stock Car Series. Fantastic job. Jaden Hop is your winner. Big win for him.
Yeah, good win, Jaden. Nice run, Chris.
Chris Carroll will finish 2nd.
Good one, Jaden.
Nick Baris 3rd. That's your podium.
Good one, Jaden.
Brandon Sheffield 4th.
Thank you.
Alan Wilson the 3rd, 5th. Brian Zimmerman 6th. We'll try to take a pause and you can watch the demo derby as Jaden Hop celebrates. We'll try to get him in and get an interview with our winner.
Where you going, boy?
Fantastic race here tonight. We'll see if we can chat with our winner.
I was trying to go backwards.
Jaden Hop, congrats on the win. Taking the 2nd race of the Stock Car Series season. How you feeling after that one?
Feeling pretty good, Rocky. Thank you.
This car loose, guys.
Yeah, no problem. You were the class of the field, leading from the pole, leading every lap. So fantastic tire savings. Tell us how your race went. How were you feeling? I know Chris Carroll got there, made it interesting there at the end, but how were you sweating that?
It was pretty difficult. I feel like I have to concentrate more at this track than most ovals, but it went pretty smoothly either way.
Yeah, definitely. You were definitely needed that. I know Daytona didn't go your way with that late race caution getting blocked into the wall. Unfortunate circumstance, but how are you feeling with this momentum, with this win?
Feeling good. Hopefully I can continue the momentum going through the season forward.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week at Atlanta. How are you feeling your chances at that one?
I don't know. I'm usually alright at Old Atlanta, but I don't know yet.
For sure, understand. Well, any closing thoughts or anybody you'd like to thank?
Just you, as always, putting on a good league and good broadcast.
I appreciate it, man. Well, I will send you back down again. Congrats. We look forward to seeing you next week. See if you can carry that momentum and challenge for this championship.
Great, thank you.
All right, great showing there by our winner, Jaden Hopp. We will chat with points leader and should still be the points leader. I should double check that. He had 2-point lead coming in. But our second place finisher, Chris Carroll, will throw him in the booth. Chris Carroll, fantastic run again. I know you probably wanted to come out with 2 in a row. How you feeling after that second place run?
Not too bad. I got to figure out this aero push in this car and all the A, B, and C cars. I finished second a lot, being in. I tried to back off and try to get out of his wake, and I tried to save some tire for him at the end. And I know he's gonna pick it up when I get there, but I got there, and the second he crossed my wake, I was pushing. So I gave him all I had there. He's a damn good driver, and yeah, I mean, second, Rocky. You know how it is. You want to be in victory lane and not looking at the guy crossing the line in front of you.
No, definitely, totally understand that. You definitely pushed it to the limit there in the second half, started to fade there with the last few laps, unfortunately. But take us to the start of the race, because you had an interesting strategy. You started third and really quickly faded back at the beginning. Tell us about that at the start and what you were doing there.
Yeah, I need to apologize to those guys. I was trying to back up and just kind of ride in the pack and use the draft, and I screwed a bunch of guys up there and give Jaden a huge lead. Completely my fault there. I got loose twice too, trying to get out of the way, and I stacked them all up. So I owe those guys all an apology, whoever that was. I know Brad Ward and Traeger and a few of them guys were in there, so my fault there. I totally made a rookie error there, Rocky Harpence.
No, I got you. Going into next week at Atlanta, going to Old Atlanta, how are you feeling carrying that points lead? I know it's going to be marginal. We'll have to take a look at that post-race. But how are you feeling going into race 3?
Well, I'm trying to get the best finishes I can. The points will work out how they work out. I mean, I got lucky at Daytona that a bunch of them guys wrecked and give me a little bit of a jump start there. But I mean, even tonight, I didn't want to do anything too silly. I almost did at the end there, missing the corner with a 7. But you just gotta try and deal with the decision in front of you and get the best finish you can. The points will work out how they work out. But I'm racing for points, as many as I can get every week. And I mean, a first and a second to start the year, I can't be complaining.
No, for sure, totally understand. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, we'll see what happens at Atlanta. Did you say it was New Atlanta next week?
Old Atlanta.
Oh, I like Old Atlanta. That's a good track. Yeah, just, thanks for the broadcast, and I got to thank my teammates, Larry Bell and Zimmy, the Pit Lizard boys. We were all trying to figure that place out tonight in that car, and we did it to varying degrees, but they seemed to have more tires than I had, so I was doing something wrong, but just thank those guys and my folks for watching, and all of you guys that work hard to put this on for us, man.
Hey, you're welcome. Well, we'll see you next week at Atlanta. See if you can continue that momentum. As always, have a good one.
I'm going to give him hell, Rocky. Thank you, sir.
All right, man. All right, we'll talk with our third place finisher, Nick Baris. Congrats. Another strong showing, building off that top 5 finish at Daytona. You get a podium this week. How you feeling after that?
A little tired. This was a trying race. You really had to be, precise points, breaking points into the turn, waiting on the throttle long enough. You had to really be on top of it the whole time, or you could easily get the car in trouble.
No, totally understand. It looks like you had a real great handling. I mean, you stuck around the top 5 the entire race. They're late. It looked like your teammate Brandon Sheffield worked his way around you. But you kind of lay there. What happened there that you ended up being able to squeeze by and pick up the podium finish?
Yeah, Brandon unfortunately had some VR issues and had to start from pit road, so he got had to start way back. That caution really helped him. He was really fast there. I had a problem on the pit stop where I missed my pit stall, so I came in 4th, went out 8th, so I had to make up some of those spots. And as you know from building cars for us a long time, I like the car on the tighter side. I feel like I could save the tire a little better when we're all equal on setup. And that was it. I just took care of the tires and was able to get back around him at the end because he burned his stuff up coming through.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, you did a fantastic job. Yeah, it looked like a lot of people were struggling with that, especially burning off the little right front. We saw an incident earlier where a few drove into the wall there coming out of 4 especially. Now, with that momentum, we got Old Atlanta coming up next week. How are you feeling your chances there?
Well, I have no chance next week because next week I'm on vacation, so that's going to be an off week for me.
Gotcha.
So hopefully I'm going to be out in California, so hopefully the race goes well for everybody else, and I'll be back the week after.
Fantastic. Is this a Disney trip?
Yeah, we're headed out to Universal for a day and then down to Disney, so we'll be there most of the week, and then I'll be back Saturday night.
All right, fantastic. Well, enjoy the vacation. I'm sure it's much deserved and everything like that. Any final thoughts?
Not really. I mean, just thanks for putting this on. You do a great job with the league, putting it on for everyone. We had a strong field again tonight. A lot of people that can win on any given day, and got to thank the rest of my team, which is Brad, Brandon, Ed, Jason, and hopefully everyone has a good run next week.
For sure, man. Well, we will catch you here in a couple weeks then. Have a good vacation.
Thanks, Rocky. Take it easy.
All right, we'll see you. All right, well, we'll run through the final order. Your winner, Jaden Hopp, in that number 4 machine. Chris Carroll, your points leader, he comes in second. Nick Burry's third. Brand Sheffield fourth, closing out the top 5. A good recovery. Alan Wilson, the third. Fantastic race for him. Brian Zimmerman ends up 6th. Brian Zalbeski continuing a top 5 run. Good job on him, finishing 7th. Jason Jackson 8th. Brian Traeger came in 2nd in points. He ended up hitting the wall late, but he held out for a 9th place finish. Rounding out your top 10, that is Derek Whitford. In 11th, Robbie Harpins. 12th, Larry Bell. 13th, Daryl Whitford. 14th, Alex Harris. 15th, Lawrence Shaughnessy. 16th, Dan Ursel. 17th, James Ward. 18th, unfortunate to see a couple top 5 finishers last week having some tough luck here this week. Luke Doran ends up 18th, ends up in an incident. Ed Kane it comes in 19th, rounding out your top 20. Brian Dobson. Final 2 cars, that would be Brad Ward. Unfortunately, he ends up 24th. First, and Steven Gibson 22nd. So again, great racing here tonight. Fantastic job out of all of our competitors. Really got a shout out to Jaden Hopp. Really maintained his stuff all race and was great. So if you stuck around this far, we got some racing coming up in the Stock Car Series. Legacy Atlanta, Old Atlanta, August 23rd. That'll be our next race next Tuesday. You'll catch it here. We'll likely be broadcasting that. Then August 30th, Iowa, September 6th, Pocono. For sure, broadcasting September 13th at Chicagoland, and so on and so forth. You can catch all the schedule and everything like that at eSpeedRCNG.com, eSpeedRacing.com. Also, trying to get this kicked off. If you are interested, definitely sign up. That is the eSpeed Late Model Tour. Thursdays sessions kick off at 8 p.m. Eastern. Fixed asphalt late model stock car racing. Again, at tour capacity, we're going to start in Florida and race our way to Virginia. Mixture of races, regular 100-lappers, and few twin races on the night, so should be some good stuff there. Definitely sign up if you are interested. All the information at eSpeedRCNG.com. Also be sure to join the Discord and everything like that. But fantastic racing. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll have more to come. So on behalf of eSpeed, I'd like to thank you everybody, and we'll see you next time at the track.